welcome back to the JMK Garage. The Dyna is officially on the road, and this is my first take at doing a motovlogging video in probably 2 years. Not sure how the quality will be. I'm just using the audio recorder through my iPhone compared to the Dyna in my Chewy helmet here, which in the past hasn't sounded great at all. Mind you, I don't think I had the audio settings dialed in as good as they should be, so hopefully this sounds okay, and hopefully you can hear the bike okay. Using my GoPro Hero 7 right here to record some forward footage. Using the Insta360 1X2 down here to record some 360 footage from the side. I would love to upgrade that to the new X4, but I need to pay this bike off first, so maybe next year we'll get one of those. So I took this bike to work last Friday afternoon after I got the temp sticker on the back. That's all I'm using right now still. Safety I should have done this week, and officially on the road. Definitely a different feel here than my Triumph Daytona, which I've now taken off the road and just sitting there in the garage. I'm going to use for some track days this year. At least one where it's not raining, hopefully. So far, I think I'm pretty happy with this bike. As I said, it's completely different than riding the Triumph. It isn't slow, not fast, but it's definitely different than my Honda Shadow that I sold because it was slow, wasn't comfortable. This thing here, I haven't rode very far yet, but it's definitely a more comfortable riding position than the Shadow. The seat's more comfortable. The mid controls, definitely, I could not stand riding this bike with the forward controls out there, especially as it had the extended ones on. And the handlebars, I am very happy that I put the 10.5 inch Biltwell Murdoch risers on, along with the Biltwell 1 inch the low bend tracker bars. More of a straight feel here as opposed to the pullback wheelbarrow feel. That's just gear doing 100. I'm at 2600 RPM. It's only a 5-speed this because it's only the 88 inch, not the 96. 2004. I would have liked a 6-speed, but a cruising like this, pretty happy with. I have no plans to do any long haul runs. Just to and from work, back road cruising. I was worried that this would be screaming like my old Shadow. And my Shadow before that, which my dad now has, is the BT 1100. It's only a 4-speed, and that there definitely needs a 5-speed. But with the 5-speed in this, it's I'm actually okay with it. First gear, go full. About 40. Or so. Definitely windy without a fairing, but it's not unbearable. only about 10 degrees Celsius out here today. All I've got on is a work shirt, thin sweatshirt, and my windbreaker, fully thin pants, and I'm not too cold. We'll turn right here, away from the dump truck. Like, sounds pretty good. I'm planning to get it 2-into-1, which likely won't happen until next winter, but it sounds good as is. I was hoping the previous owner put a cam in to go along with the exhaust intake, but rev limiter is still at 5,500 RPM. And content isn't crazy, so I'm taking that to the stock cam. Bike only has 15,400 kilometers on it now. So I think next winter I'd like to do 2-in-1 exhaust, set up cam, and I'd like to do a tuner on this year, just because you can feel it's running way too lean. Not sure how well you can hear with the wind on the air, but on the deceleration you get a lot of pop. And it's not just a few, it's pretty bad. So I'm sure they put the exhaust intake on here without tuning it, so it's a lot leaner than it should be. Likely going to get the Dyna Power Vision tuner. Probably the 4 pairs to my phone. I'd like to get the original one with the LCD display, but those are back ordered now or discontinued. And I think those are the only ones that do the auto tune, so I'm a little disappointed with that. The other option is to take it, get down tuned, which Donald from Platinum Power Sports does now this year. He's posted a lot of videos on similar bikes and they got good results. Although the price certainly isn't cheap, a little over $1,000, but I guess you get what you pay for. Gotta get this camera up for a better view. Not sure if we're recording anymore. The camera's pretty finicky. Let's record. Recording again. I'm a little disappointed with the Insta360 for how it glitches out, and I was thinking it was just the memory card, but I replaced it a few times and formatted it. Occasionally it just craps out, and again, stops recording. However, GoPro here, it's the same thing. It usually doesn't stop recording, but it will give me issues when I'm doing the editing. There's neutral. Show this guy. almost back at work. Tuck that camera away. Turn it off. Get it out of the way. Alright guys, just got a few miles on the bike today. Took it to work, and then work, other location, and now we're heading home for some dinner. Knocked Harley Davison up there ahead of me. Not where I bought the bike from, but I believe that's where this bike was originally bought from when new, back in 2004. Pretty quiet there today. Monday, so it might be closed. And let's hope the into the 360 stays recording this time. Crapped out again on a drive to South London from North London. Guys, so in case you didn't watch the last videos on this bike, I picked it up about a month ago for $7,500. 2004 Harley Davison Dyna FXDLI. This is fuel injected. This is an 88-inch twin cam, only a 5-speed transmission. Aftermarket parts. It has a full Davison exhaust to the 2. It has the Harley big sucker intake down here. I believe it's not doing pretty. Just reminded me to get $100 out of the bank account to pay for the safety that I got done in this. So far, I think I have maybe 100 kilometers on it, and no regrets yet. Rides pretty nice, comfy, definitely comfier than my Honda Shadow. I think that's mostly because of the riding position with the hands and the feet. The Shadow had more floor controls like that, and caused a lot of pressure to go on my spine. So yeah, I definitely like this riding position better. The bike definitely feels heavier and I don't know, more planted. You know, the Harley has a vibration. It's not bugging me like on the Shadow. Gear there. Don't need it, but I'm just used to grabbing 6th gear. My sport bike, hard. On my Shadow, keep keep bringing that up, but I was always looking for a 6th gear in that. Definitely more clunky than my Trail. Although, growing up, we always thought Harleys were very clunky and like a tractor, but it's quite smooth and fairly comparable to my Shadow. Not quite the same, but comparable. It's nice, smooth shifting bike. For Harley all started about a year ago. I went to Rockies back there and test rode a bunch of the 23 models. The Street Glide, which was hopped up 140 horsepower, stage 3 or 4, whatever you want to call it, built. That bike was a riot. Took up the Street Glide. I tried the Road Glide after that. Very comfy, but I didn't take it long enough to really appreciate the ride. And it didn't have the same amount of power, so for some reason I wasn't really into that. Took out the Street Bob, absolutely hated the thing, and I blamed that on the 8. They were higher than this and pulled back like a wheelbarrow. Power band, it had lots of power, but it just felt like you're hitting red line way too soon. Took out the Sportster S. That thing was insane. Way too much power for a bike that's that small in the riding position. Probably comparable to my Triumph, but just the riding position on that, it didn't feel safe. My little riding experience. So I was wanting a Harley because those are the Milwaukee 8 and the Revolution. And last year I started really liking the Dynas and the Lowrider STs. I went to the Rockies to check out the 24 Road Glide and Street Glide. I would have loved to buy one of those, but it's really hard to justify nearly $40,000 for a motorcycle, right? If I live in the States or down south and roading around, it's not an issue, but I felt I only get out for a couple thousand kilometers a year. It's hard to justify that. So again, I was looking at the Lowrider ST, very nice bike, but again the price tag. So I started looking, found this, and so far I'm pretty happy. Bikes like this, cruisers, is you just cruise along, nice slow speed, kilometers an hour like this, and it's pretty enjoyable for the sport bike. You can do it, but you're just so tempted to just pull that throttle and